Hello, it is I, Matthew Harvey, author of the Bishop Chronicles, Wolf of Wessex. I don't actually need these on, do I? I don't need to have the headphones on unless I'm listening to something. And I'm not listening to anything, so I'll take those off. Yes, me, Matthew Harvey, author of the Benicia Chronicles, Wolf of Wessex, A Time for Swords, and other bits and pieces. And I thought I would just say Merry Christmas. And yeah, I'm thinking about the new year to come and the fact that this year's been a good year, and I'm just about to put down tools, I guess is the phrase for this year. And so I thought I'd just say hello, go live, and just say thank you and Merry Christmas to everyone. Thank you to everyone who's bought my books this year and has helped to allow me to continue to have the career and the job that I have, which is great. And I really am very thankful. And without you reading my books and buying my books, I wouldn't be able to do this. So thank you very much. And everyone who's I posted earlier today, I've got 150 ratings now on Forest of Foes. It's only been out for 2 weeks, so that's feels great. That the books are still doing well. And one of the reviews I read today, I think the most recent review said, he's whoever it was said they'd read the whole series so far, and they thought it was maybe the best book so far in the series, which for the 9th book in a series is fantastic, because you perhaps would imagine that each book would get easier, but it's not the case. And with each book, I feel it gets more difficult in some ways, and the soul searching is more intense, and the questioning of whether it's any good. So it's great that it's still hitting the spot for most people, and people are enjoying it. So I really feel very pleased about that. And we've got plenty more things to come. I've already got the new Hunlaf book is finished. I just finished sort of cleaning it up in January. I'm going to read through the whole thing. That's my process. Is once I've cleaned up the first draft, I put it aside for a few days, and then I'll pick it up and I'll read the whole thing end to end for the first time, like a novel, like a reader. And it's the first time that it's probably the best moment really for me for the books, because when I'm writing, obviously each day you're focusing on a little piece, and then when I finish, I then read the whole thing end to end. And the beginning of the book I wrote several months ago, and you don't forget completely what's going on, but you do come at it in a really fresh way. And it's the first time, and probably the only time, that I get an inkling of what it's like to read it as a reader, and be still a little bit surprised by some of the twists and turns when I get to them, because I've forgotten some of the details that I wrote myself 4 or 5 months ago. So I'm looking forward to that. And then after that, I'm going to move on and write a standalone novel that's yet unannounced. The title, I don't even know what the title is, but I haven't really talked about where that's going to be set and what that's going to be about. But it's going to be something a bit different. If you want a bit more an idea of that in advance, and you fancy going on to Patreon, you can go on there, sign up to Patreon, and there's a few hints about what that book will be about. And there's a standalone novella actually that I've written there, which was kind of inspiration for it as well. So if you sign up to the Patreon at the Esith level, you can read that novella that I wrote this year, and I put it up there in sort of episodic form, but the whole novella's up there. So if you're interested, you feel like doing that, but obviously you do not need to do that, but if you want to. And what else have I got planned? I've already got I've just A Day of Reckoning is the name of the third Hunlaf book. As I say, that's pretty much in the bag now. I'll be cleaning that up in January, and then moving on to this new book. And then after that should be finished around October time. I'll then move on to the 10th in the Benicia Chronicles. So that's already that's already been bought by Head of Zeus, so that's already going to happen as well. So that will take me well into 2024, and I'm guessing it'll be published sometime towards the end of 2024. So the next couple of years really are sort of mapped out for me. I've got quite a lot of work to do still, another couple of novels to write over the next 18 months or so. So I'll be busy. Hopefully you'll still continue to read the books and buy the books and buy them as Christmas presents and birthday presents for people, and tell people about my books, because they don't seem to get stocked in many bookshops. I still keep making the mistake of stopping in, if I go past a Waterstones bookshop, I'll go and have a look on the shelves and see if they've got my books, and they almost always haven't, which is a little bit depressing. But so yeah, tell people about my books, see if you can get more people reading them, because that would be great. I'm going to go through some comments. Quite a few people have been quite chatty on the things what we got. So hi Julie, Merry Christmas, Jonathan, Peggy, Merry Christmas, Shane, love your work, thank you very much. Thanks Shane. Merry Christmas Ronald, Martin, Merry Christmas. Oh yeah, it says you got the new book, you'll be getting that for Christmas. Great. Well, I hope you enjoy it. You can read that on Christmas morning, maybe drinking a glass of something nice. Merry Christmas, Marie. 147 pages into the new book, Forest of Foes, and enjoying it. So that's good. That's a good sign. Yeah, Julie's saying about how it's nice that the story flows, or it must be nice when the story flows. It is nice when the story flows. It doesn't always flow, which is when it gets worrying. Oh, so Jonathan is that's an interesting question. I'll just bring that up here. So Jonathan's asked this question: will we get to see Bearbrand kill Penda at some point in the future? Well, that's a question, isn't it? I could never answer that question. How could I? But I think if you know any of the history of the time, well, obviously Penda at some point dies, and Bearbrand's story has been interlinked with Penda's from the very beginning. So I think it's safe to say that if both Penda and Bearbrand are around at the conclusion of Penda's life, Bearbrand will have a hand in it somehow. But as I haven't actually written that book or even written a synopsis for it or anything, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, and there's always surprises. But yeah, I mean, it's likely that Bearbrand will be around at some point as Penda's reign over Mercia comes to its end. Merry Christmas from Paul. Looking forward to Forest of Foes and the new Hunlaf. Thank you. Shane asking if the new book is going to be a Viking one. Well, Hunlaf really is already a Viking one, so no, it's going to be a departure. It's going to be something different, something I've not written before. Well, apart from a novella that hasn't been published, apart from on Patreon. I'm trying to work out how to pronounce your handle, Androidos13. I don't know. You're picking up Forest of Foes after the holiday. Well, I hope you enjoy that. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas from Kenya, from Isaac Mayaka. So, well, Merry Christmas to you. Amazing. People all over the world, which it's always surprises me. The fact that the world is such a small place now that I can go on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live and be chatting to people, all over the world. Marie says, please give Bearbrand at least a small piece of happiness in book number 10. Well, maybe everyone keeps saying, make Bearbrand's, give Bearbrand a happy, some happiness, a happy ending. But maybe one day. But that's just not the way that stories go. The characters need to be tortured. They need to have, bad things have to happen to them. Maybe he'll get a bit of happiness. Something good has to happen at some point. But if something good happens, it's only setting a character up for something bad to happen next, right? That's the way those things work. Taff says Merry Christmas. And Jonathan, maybe you cottoned on. Jonathan questioning about where the next book may be set. But let's not talk too much about that, as I haven't started writing it yet. So that's it, really. I just wanted to say, thanks. Been a great year. Forest of Foes, of course, have just come out. I've just finished writing a Day of Reckoning, so I feel quite satisfied. I haven't mentioned in this video now, this chat. Of course, this year's been we've started doing the Rock Paper Swords podcast with Stephen A. Mackay and myself doing that, and that's been really good fun. I'm really enjoying doing that. I think Stephen and I are both really enjoying that. So if you haven't listened to it and you think podcasts really aren't your thing, it's free. You can find it on any music app, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple, and on any podcast app. So it's basically, you can find it anywhere if you just search for Rock Paper Swords, and give it a listen. And we've got, I think, 16 episodes out now, so you can dip in and listen to different bits and pieces. We've interviewed some great writers already. We've had Bernard Cornwell on there, which was huge for both Stephen and me. Massive fans. We've had Robin Young, who also is writing as Erin Young. She's a great writer as well, and she was really good value on good value guest at talking. It was really interesting. We've I'm trying to think who else we've had. Well, we've had other writers, like Prue Batten and Jean Gill. I can't remember everybody now. We've also done some episodes talking about historical events. We did like a Christmas special a week or so ago, talking about the history of Christmas, just with Stephen and me. We've got some other great guests already lined up that we've interviewed that are ready to roll out in the new year coming up. We've got Christian Cameron, we've already interviewed. His episode will be coming up. I think that's just before New Year's Eve. And we've already interviewed Simon Scarrow as well, so he'll be coming out. His episode will be coming out in January. So we've got some great names, and we'll be reaching out to new to other writers and other people. We've also already interviewed a musician, a rock musician from a metal band that had some interesting stuff about histories, and so that's coming up as well. So we're hoping to have some really interesting guests in the coming year. So that's another avenue of for me and Stephen to sort of enjoy our full-time writer life and spend a little bit of time doing something maybe a little bit more sociable, because we get to talk to each other and other people, which is nice. And I'm just sort of looking. I jotted down just a list of things. So it's been a good year, as I said. Books have come out. Done the podcast this year. It's also been my first German translations have come out this year as well. So the first two Bernicia Chronicles are already out in German, and the third one is coming out in January 2023. And hopefully they'll sell well enough that the publisher will want to buy more books in that series. So if you've got any German friends or any people that living in Germany or German speakers, let them know or buy them a copy. Just recently, a couple of weeks ago, I found out that the three Hunlaf books, so A Time for Swords, A Night of Flames, and Day of Reckoning, have been bought by a Spanish publisher as well. So those will be my first books in Spanish, which will be out. I'm not sure when they'll be out, but probably sometime next year, maybe towards the end of next year, the first one. So that's really exciting for me as well, because I lived in Spain for a long time and speak Spanish, and my wife's Spanish. So having a connection with Spain and having friends in Spain, that'd be great, to see those books there. And also, I'm going to be self-publishing early next year, Kin of Cain in Spanish, because that's been translated as well. But that's going to be self-published by me, because that's been translated by someone in Argentina that was well, I'm not going to go into all the details. I can't be bothered to go into all the details, but that's been translated, and that will be coming out soon as well. So if you know anyone who speaks Spanish, that will be a good start for them, and then they can pick up the novels when they come out later. So yeah, it's been a good year. It's been a busy year, lots of writing, and thanks for everyone for reading the books and for buying the books. So Isaac, you're saying you want to invite you want to invite you to you want to invite me to minister to my church this coming year? That sounds what in Kenya? Okay, well, it's a long way to go, but hey, maybe. So anyway, well, yeah, that's a bit unlikely that I'll be going to Kenya, I guess, unless someone pays for the ticket. But yeah, Merry Christmas, people are saying here. Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas, Craig. Jonathan says looking forward to the Simon Scarrow interview. Yeah, Paul saying opens up Spanish opens up a whole new a huge market. Yeah, that's I really looking. I think that's really important, and that's one of the things I wanted to do. And I know that in South America and Central America, and obviously in Spain as well, there's lots of people that read historical fiction, action, and adventure novels. So yeah, I'm really pleased about that. So the German market is really good as well. Actually, I mean, it's interesting. Although obviously there's a lot more Spanish speakers, the German public are really keen readers, and the German literary market, I think, is the second or third biggest in the world. It's huge. So for me, Spanish and German in the same year, beginning to make inroads there into those territories is really good news, and hopefully that will continue. Got a couple of books translated into Czech this year as well. Obviously a much smaller market, but still fantastic. And when I was on a holiday in Prague in the summer, I actually saw one of my books on the shelf in a bookshop, which was really kind of cool because I don't see my books on the shelves in bookshops in Britain very often. So to be in a foreign country and and wander into a bookshop and see my book there, alongside all the other fabulous books was great. And the woman working there was a bit surprised when I said, "That's me. Can I sign the book?" And she was like, "Who the hell are you?" Luckily, there was a photo of me in the book, so she did believe me, I think, and let me sign it, but looked a bit confused. Oh yeah. So Jonathan saying about Germans getting given books at Christmas Eve. Yeah, I think that's. I think they do that in certain Scandinavian countries as well. This giving books on Christmas Eve is a big thing. But yeah, they're big readers and a big market. So anyway, I think that's it for me. I'm gonna sign off, and that's pretty much me downing tools for the year now. Probably we've got family coming over Christmas, and then we're going to take it easy for a few days, and then back rearing to go in January. So thanks again to everyone. Thanks for all your support and buying the books and spreading the word and reading the books, leaving reviews. And it's been a pleasure, and I hope to continue for a long time to come, and hopefully next year will just be more and better and onwards and upwards. So thanks everyone. Have a great Christmas and a very relaxing time, if at all possible, over the next few days. And I hope you have a wonderful new year, and I hope you get given lots of books for presents. And I'll see you next year. Bye. Merry Christmas.